Okay, so before we leave Island, we wanted to go ahead and do a quick video about our experience on Island. So we're going to sort of run through each day on what we went through, places we saw, points about, things that were good about it, things that might have been a little more challenging about it, or whatever. So we're going to start ripping day through day, and we're going to start going through. Can we talk about it? Okay. So we're going to start going through day by day of our experience while we've been here at the Turks and Caicos, and we are on what island?
Providenciales.
All right. So we were going to do a video getting into the car, but being that it's turns around, lovely rainy morning, we decided not to do that. So
keep left to continue on Maryland 170 South. In 800 feet, turn left.
So now we are making our way through the airport to our gate. Boarding the plane. All right, so Sunday we landed. We had to go through customs. We were one of the first flights to land, so customs wasn't as bad for us. They started to line up behind us, so we got through it pretty quick.
Yeah, it only took like 15 minutes.
Yeah, and they usually say it takes how long?
It can be up to 2 hours.
So we did get through that pretty quick. What time did we land? It was sometime around 2:30, wasn't it? I think when we landed, it was sometime around noon when we landed, 2:30, I think. So we thought that we'd come to the hotel, get the car, come to the hotel. Getting the car wasn't as easy as they talked about. She's in a group that they gave information on the Turks and Caicos. It wasn't quite as easy because they didn't have the car just waiting for us. She had to go check it out because weren't they doing something that day? Because of the holiday, they had a party or something.
Yeah, Christmas party.
So we got the car.
Oh my God, it's on the side.
Where'd you think it was gonna be?
There's no backup camera.
Yeah, well.
Driving on the opposite side of the road. Right out of the gate was a little challenging, but we didn't have real far to go, so it wasn't too bad. We got here to the place that we're at. So we finally arrived.
Oh.
This is where we are going to be staying for the next week. Turn this around. So this is our living room and our dining room that we just came out of. Living room area. Kitchen. There's a laundry stackable one there. I'll get there. There's our bathroom. Good looking guy in the mirror. Nice walk-in shower. And the bedroom and the view from the back. got everything inside, and decided we'd go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So we went down, got groceries, but when we got there, as soon as we walked in,
There was security.
yeah, sitting at the front end, we're like, okay, well, where are we at? Because in our area, when you see security standing at the front of the grocery store, 2 guards, usually is not a good area. But I guess for here, it's sort of normal.
Yeah. We saw a lot of security guards.
Yeah, at the places we went to. So we went ahead and got our groceries. And right away, off the bat, we noticed that prices were a lot higher.
Like almost triple in some cases.
Yeah. And some of the examples was like a case of water was a Aquafina.
$13 or $14.
Yeah, I think it was $14.50 for it.
Yeah, we paid like $17 for soda,
Yep.
$20 for 2 rolls of paper towels.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So everything's really high price. And then, as we'll talk about, some of the places we ate, that's also expensive. So then we came back Sunday and just sort of chilled, right? And then we had our plans for going out on Monday. So we didn't have a lot planned, like we didn't have our days planned out. And I probably would suggest if you're coming to an island like this or anywhere, you should probably maybe sit down and try to figure out what day you're going to do what. We sort of waited on some of that because we didn't know what the weather was going to be like for like kayaking and stuff like that. So we had to see what the wind speeds are going to be like. But I'll talk more about that on a different day. That basically ended our Sunday. We got up Monday morning, decided we were going to do Smith's Reef. The weather was really beautiful that day. So we figured we'd go down there and check that out on the beach because a lot of people talk about the snorkeling and stuff like that. We got snorkeling stuff before we came. So today the game plan is we are going to
Go to Smith's Reef.
Smith's Reef and we're going to try not to drown, not get eaten by sharks, and not have any criminals take our stuff.
That's a good plan.
Yeah, that's the game plan. Driving down there was a little bit of a challenge to get there because
It was like hidden. It tells you that there's a parking lot, but then when you get to the parking lot, it's just a cul-de-sac and you don't know where it's at. So, and trying to zoom in on the Google Maps here is not like in the States. There's no street views. And once you zoom in so far, you literally, it's all blurry. You can't see anything. So it was literally this little teeny tiny road driveway next to another house that you had to drive down to get to the parking lot.
yeah, it looked like it was a driveway you were going down. We actually did a circle and parked, went up the road and parked, and we were like, where the hell is this place at? And the GPS connection's not always perfect either. Like, they'll try to tell you you're somewhere you're not necessarily.
Yeah.
So we had a little bit of a challenge, but once we got back in there, it was fine. I mean, it's just, you have to know when you come to the end of that cul-de-sac, literally you're driving on the left side of the road, so right as you come to that, so you just stay straight, you'll see a dirt path, and you go back in, and that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Okay, so we found a spot that's called Hidden Beach, which is right down from where we're staying. So we're gonna walk down here and check this out to see if it's decent or not. So we'll find out as we get down here, I guess. Or we'll be trespassing and someone will shoot us. So we'll see how this goes. So we went down there was a guy who was in the water that was swimming around some rocks on the side. We noticed a lot of people that were walking up to the right, which is where the actual reef is located. We had never scuba dived before. This was our first experience, so we didn't want to go up and jump in with the pros right away. We want to take our time, learn it a little bit. So there was a rock. I guess there's like an entry for boats to come in.
Yes.
And there's a bunch of rocks that go out. So we ended up going out there and getting used to doing the snorkeling. I don't know how well this is going to work or if you can even hear me. We're going to try. Never done it before. It's a little hard getting used to breathing underwater through one of those things.
Yeah. Because you have to breathe in and out of your mouth, not your nose.
One of the small hints I'd give you if you're doing that, don't breathe normal like you would through your mouth, like you hold your nose to breathe. because if you're breathing in and out quickly, you can't breathe when you're doing it and you're moving around. You have to take deep, slow breaths. So do that. That's a good pointer. That'll help you tremendously. But we were swimming around the rocks and I went under the water at one point. I'm like, I didn't realize they were nearby us. There was all these tropical fish over by the rocks. I had no idea they were there. I went under and all of a sudden there's like this world of fish right next to us and I had no idea it was there.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to see those up close. Anything you want to add on to that? About swimming there. Snorkeling. So we did get some video while we were there. It was pretty clear. The water wasn't too bad that day.
No, it's clear.
So we did that, and then we ended up going to. Did we get dinner somewhere that day, or did we come back here and he got us a pizza?
I think we came back here
And
and realized that we didn't want the food we bought at the store.
Yeah,
that was so expensive.
the food is expensive, so just a real quick hit back on the store. When we were at the store, like the lettuce I went there, it had like little black bugs and stuff in it. The country, you can tell, the beaches in the surrounding area are beautiful. It's like you're at a resort, you're at these beautiful, luxurious beaches. But as soon as you come away from the beaches, you come to the poor side of the island. And it seems like most of the people that live here there's just not a lot of money. So it seems like you're almost like on two different islands. It's like 1 second you're in paradise and the next second you come off and you're sort of in, like, I don't know, you almost expect like someone having like a roadblock, an AK-47 standing out there, and I don't know, it's just weird. It's not that way. But it just feels like it's gonna be
all
that
the
way.
locals dress nice,
They're
but
very nice to
when
us.
you see where they live, it literally looks like
Third world almost. in some
like
ways.
there's boards on the windows. Things are like when a car dies, they just leave it. So you'll drive down the road and there's just like old rusted out cars after car after
Boats.
car.
Yeah.
Boats, and there's wild dogs here that
That if you want to bring some snacks, you can throw out the window to them if you want.
so it is different.
So even their food and stuff like that, everything that's exported in, stuff just doesn't last. I mean, they don't grow this stuff here, so it doesn't last, I don't think, quite as long. So anyhow, so that was Monday. So
but our host was able to go and pick up a pizza for us and bring it to us, which was really nice.
yeah, he was very helpful while we were here when we'd ask him stuff. So we ventured down to a private beach that was close to where we're staying and came down, walked around the side, see what all was around here, which is where the sun sets behind us. But it's really cloudy, so we're not going to get to see a good one. But now we're walking back to the car. So we're having a party over there, living the life. Note to oneself, do not step on coral. Hurts like hell. So Tuesday, we decided we would go to Bonefish Point.
Yes.
So today the game plan is to go to Bonefish Beach. So it's a pretty crazy drive from what they say getting down in, but most vehicles can make it, so we're gonna try. And then once we get there, we got to hike a little bit of a distance to get down to the beach. Supposedly the crime rates are high in this area where we're going. Don't know if that's necessarily true. That could be someone of trying to keep tourists out. Hopefully that's the case and it's not anything major and I don't lose this and never get to see this video, so that's a good plan. She had read online that there were some challenges getting out there.
Yes, that the roadway was treacherous at best.
Yeah, and we have this tiny little Suzuki Swift.
Yeah.
And they all said you can get it back there, so we said, okay, well, everyone's saying you can do it, we give it a shot.
Yeah.
That was challenging getting back there for sure.
Yeah, there was hills going up and then just like rocks and runoffs and gullies and
big holes and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. So if you do decide to go out there, I would say probably the last several mile. It's going to take you some
Kilometers.
serious time. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely took us a really long time to get out there.
As we were going out there, though, we had these crazy people coming up on us. I mean, there's like rocks sticking out of the road like this that are pointy and stuff, and
I mean, your little car only has that much clearance.
yeah, and you're trying not to hit them hard. I mean, not that going over a rock like that's going to make much difference if you go slow, but you don't want to puncture your tires or whatever. So this car came flying up on us pretty quick.
Two of them.
Yeah. And went flying by us, and we're like, they got to be young and dumb because they're in a flat tire. We're going to see them up the road here. I mean, they were just hammering stuff. I mean, it's already like, and they were just
Flying.
I can't even imagine what it was like to be in their cars.
It didn't take them as long to get out there as it took us.
No, not at all. And then, so once we got out there to the very end, it does take a while to get there. They were parked and getting stuff out of their vehicles, and then a van came, and
Which I don't know how they got out there really fast. Like,
yeah. So they were a camera crew. They had a Jeep out there. They were doing video, like they had
like a commercial maybe or
yeah,
something.
yeah. They had like the serious equipment out there. It wasn't like, you know, GoPro or 360 or Pocket 3, which we're recording this on. So we finally made it down to Bonefish, and the roads were pretty shady coming in. Some spots weren't as bad. But anyhow, so we're here right now. And over there's a camera crew. They have, oh yeah, and split rocks over there. There's a camera crew that's getting ready to do some recording and diving, which actually will probably be pretty cool. They got some major gear, not a Pocket 3 or GoPro or 360, but you know, you do what you do, what you got. They were out there doing recording, so we ended up walking down the beach around to the point. Walking over there was nice, the water was crystal clear. That squeaking is my shoes because they're wet.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was very hot.
Trying to make it over to that shipwreck right there. But it is hot.
Very hot.
It is humid. And the beach, so I have to walk in the water unless you take the trail, I guess maybe you can get out and around it. But up there are mosquitoes and down here there's not as many, so we decided to go with walking in the water. There are tons of shells all along through here. Huge ones too.
Very hot though.
Yep.
The water felt good. We tried snorkeling a little bit there, but
So we finally made it to the point that we wanted to get to. We have the beach to ourselves. Water's nice and beautiful. Probably try to swim out to that rock. I got my snorkeling gear. You called some people from her work and her dad and stuff like that because we actually had reception.
video call 'em.
Yeah, so they could see where we're at. Galen up there calling her dad from the point. We both were in the water for a little bit there too, but when I went under the snorkel, there was 2 fish probably, maybe about somewhere in there, yeah. And when you're underwater with fish and everything, like when you first go under, you sort of have your size to where everything is, but then when you're down there, like things look like bigger or further away. So I mean, he was a good sized fish, there's 2 of them. So I went under, I'm swimming out towards this rock that we're going to swim to, and I see these two fish, and I recognized them just from looking at photos in the past as barracudas. It sort of tossed me a little bit, so I'm like swimming backwards like this away from them because I didn't want to take my eyes off of them. But it threw me because I wasn't expecting to see barracudas in the water. I don't know why. I never looked to see what was in the water. I mean, we knew what sharks were around, but I wasn't expecting that. So that sort of threw me for a little bit. So I'm guessing there's probably other fish around there, but I decided not to swim out to the rock anymore. I did try to go back under and catch them on video, and I couldn't, but they were down there. But yeah, we spent the day there. We ended up hiking back out. The hike out to the point is like 3/4 of a mile to a mile to get out there.
Yeah.
But it's a nice walk. There's like a little shipwreck.
Yes, there's a shipwreck on the way.
We ended up hiking back out and then driving back out, which takes time. So
Yeah.
that's a good part of your day. Is driving.
Yeah, that was like our whole day. That's what I would say. This is the one we weren't sure we were going to clear when we came.
I did.
We had lunch at a Mexican place, Mis Amigas. No, yes, Mis Amigas on the highway, the little cutout where the cats were.
Oh yeah. That's
There were
right.
little
Good
cats
stuff.
there.
Yeah. Yep. That was a nice place too.
Yes, the staff was friendly. The
Yeah,
local, not the locals, the international visitors like us were dumb. But
Yeah. But otherwise, everything else was pretty decent.
yeah.
And yeah, we came back here. I think we did have sandwiches for dinner.
Yeah.
So. Want to sing? You want to sing? That was the end of Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Wednesday. So today's adventure, we are going to Grace Bay. We're going to look around the area, the beaches, check out some of the shops there, see what it's like. And then after that, we're going to go to the
Clear kayak tour.
and see if we can catch some turtles, conches, what else is there?
Stingrays.
Stingrays, and possibly lemon sharks. So that'd be cool. So that's the game plan for today. So we'll get video along the way, I suppose. So this is Grace Bay.
Which was beautiful.
Yeah, because it was rated the #1 beach in the world, so we wanted to see.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, when we got down, we walked down, it was crystal clear water, white sand. You could see, it was like a huge swimming pool is what it looked like.
Yeah.
There was no waves, it was silent, it was still, it was beautiful. So we got a couple pictures, took a little video. She wanted to jump in right away and go swimming. I was like, well, we only have so much time. So the beach is beautiful here. So probably we'll come back on another day and go swimming for a while, enjoy it a little bit. At least that's the game plan.
Correct.
And this part of the island is more, I think, so what you envision, I think, when you hear about exotic islands. Not that where we're staying isn't. It's still part of the island, obviously, but I think we're in more of where the rich people that don't want to stay in big, huge places, but stay in big, huge houses instead. So it's probably more private where we're staying, but this is more, I think, more of the vibe of the Turks and Caicos. Yeah, so we did go down the shops and we looked at, because we wanted to get some stuff for people while we were here. Only the important ones though, so if you didn't get anything, that tells you. So anyhow, we went shopping, got a couple of things. Christmas time here at the Turks and Caicos looks like this. Went to a nice little Mexican place to get food.
Skull Rock.
Yeah, and their food is actually really good if you like Mexican food. They did something that was different that we were not used to, like eating tacos. They put mayo in with their lettuce, and it was some type of a sauce or
I don't
something.
think it's in the deluxe. It's just a cream sauce
Yeah.
that's mixed with mayo.
Mayo, yeah.
But it was really good.
It was different, but it tasted really good. I never thought something like that would be good on tacos. So we ate there, and we went down and did the kayak tour.
Watched a water funnel.
Yes, as
Two.
we got there was a storm that was blowing in off to the side, and there literally was like little tornadoes in this storm.
Yeah. Which no one was concerned about,
And,
except for us.
Yep, and we saw boats that went out, kayak tour went out before the storm was blowing through, so we were like, oh, I wonder what that's like over there. So then we ended up getting signed in there. It's all the way off to the left side when you first pull in there, so if you do the kayak tour, where's that located?
What?
Okay.
Leeward Settlement, something.
Yeah, it's all the way at the top of the island.
Yeah. Past Grace Bay, all the way at the end.
And it's also where you take the ferry to go across, which we did the following day. You get checked in there as soon as you drive down. There's parking all around there. We actually went through the parking. When I came up to the gate, we didn't see anyone, and so we really set prices and we went through and we started to park. And a guy come walking over looking for money because you have to pay for parking. $5 on one side, $10 on the other side, or you park before the gate, which people are doing on the side of the road. But it's right there. And it's always to the left when you get to the end of the island. And so we went kayaking. That was pretty cool. We got to see tons of turtles.
Yeah.
There's 3 different types of turtles. I don't remember them all. I know loggerhead's one.
Green turtle.
And we don't know what the other one is. We saw a couple of sharks, lemon sharks, while we were in there.
Yeah, they were really fast.
Yeah, the guy was like, "Oh look, lemon shark!" and he jumps in and starts chasing after him.
Yeah.
So that was different. I probably would have pulled all my legs and hands and feet up out of the water, but it seems like, again, most people, I guess you live around it, it's not a big deal. It's a shark, who cares? We did the tour, got back, and then it was late when we got back because the tour was in the afternoon. I don't think we stopped anywhere to eat when we came back that day. Did we?
No, we did. We stopped at Bob's Bar and Grill. Pizza. Well, not pizza. You had a flatbread.
Oh yeah, which is just right up the road from where we're staying.
Yeah.
They had a dog too that greeted us. We went there twice.
Maddie?
Yep, he greeted us both times. So we did that, and that was it for the day of Tuesday.
That was-
Wednesday, sorry. Wednesday, not Tuesday. Okay, so now we're gonna move to Thursday. So
Thursday we had to get up bright and early.
when we were planning these days, as I said in the beginning, we knew the places that we wanted to go, but the problem was is we didn't know what the weather was going to be like on those days. So we were trying to plan like going over to that island. We didn't know what all we'd get into over there. We figured if it was windy that day, it's fine. We're going to be on this island that doesn't, I mean, it only has some points on it, but we figured it'd be a good day to use towards one of our windy days. So today we're going to North and Middle Caicos. We're going to be taking a ferry over to the island, and then we're getting an SUV. Big ass rock in the road.
Yeah.
And then we're going to explore that island all day, check out everything over there, try to get some views of different beaches. And then they have a pond that has a bunch of, what are they called? Birds.
flamingos.
Flamingos, so we'll see a bunch of those hopefully too, get some
Yeah.
good shots. Is there anything else? Oh, there might be a cave. We're going to try to see if we can find it while we're over there. I'm going to try to pay attention to the road, not launch us over a speed bump.
Not this time.
So, yeah, so we'll see how the day goes.
The fastest ferry I've ever been on in my whole life.
Yeah, had big 3 motors on the back of it.
Yeah,
It held
really fast.
how many people think it hold?
50?
Yeah, so it wasn't like a huge ferry. We were on our way over. They have windows you can slide open on them. And depending upon the wind was blowing in one direction, so the waves, as they were splashing, I mean, he's flying. The water started splashing up through the windows. So,
Splashing is an understatement.
yeah, she got soaked.
Yeah.
The guy
A whole
behind,
wave came in the window and soaked me.
the guy,
And the guy in front of me.
yeah, the guy behind me was like, "Oh!" He's like trying to reach out the window
Yeah.
to the side of me because I was coming in. So, yeah, if you're on that ferry, just be careful with the waves splashing.
Yeah.
So we got over to Island. There was a guy, every time you get on to islands, like even coming off the airport, it's the same way. There's someone there singing and playing music or something going on.
Yeah.
So there was a guy who was there strumming
Saw.
saw blade. Yeah, it was like, and he would change the tune of it by bending it back and forth. And what was he singing? Do you remember the words? Welcome to
Paradise.
Paradise, yeah.
People come from America. People come from Canada
Yeah.
to paradise.
So he was sitting out there singing as we got on. That was pretty easy to get the car there to.
Yeah, we rented an SUV.
Yeah, you don't have to go to the building to get your car. They're usually parked in the vehicle in the parking lot. So you just walk past the buildings and you'll see the vehicles there. So we went ahead, got our car, and started driving. She drove on this island. Okay, so we made it to Island. This is a little more weird though because now we're driving on the left side of the road, but we're in the same side of the cars
Setup
like we
is.
are back in the States. So it's a little more confusing now.
Turn signal's on the right side, left side.
Yeah, which makes life easier, I'm sure. So here's the island.
So 40. So this is in miles per hour again. Oh, but I think, oh, perfect. It has a little kilometer thing.
I had been driving up to a lot of the points, which I didn't talk about that. Let me tell you, driving is really hard to get used to. If you've never done it before on the opposite side of the road, it was hard to get used to. I at one point pulled over and said, "I can't do it. I'm too stupid. You're gonna have to drive because I can't do it."
They don't have traffic lights. It's just circles that you have to go into. So, and then once you enter the circle, everyone has to give way to you. But until you understand exactly the flow of traffic, you're literally just a hot mess. Like you get into the circle and people are just stopping for you, and you're like, you don't understand because where we come from, if someone's barreling down the highway 50 miles an hour and you're in, like, you stop, you wait to be able to go across the traffic.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
No, they all stop. Like they'll come to a stop if you're in the circle. They have to. Here they call it give way
And
instead
it's
of yield.
Driving on the roads themselves, like people are zipping. Like it's not like there's no really
yeah.
police presence on this island, so everyone just sort of polices themselves. So if you want to drive 90 mile an hour, you drive 90 mile an hour. Which, if you want to drive, the speed limits are in miles per hour, but the cars are in kilometers.
Yeah.
So you have to know the difference there. We did find out that 40 miles an hour is 65 kilometers. So 20 would be half of that.
It's not good math.
But it is. So, anyhow, so it was a challenge. So she was driving over on that island.
Yeah.
Over there, you drove on the same side of the car like we do in the United States.
But yeah, you still have to drive on the other side of the road.
Yeah, which for me, I think would have been even more confusing. And then I was always driving on the right side. So just a key point for driving on the island. If you're driving on the opposite side of the car from what you're used to, because you're from the States, always keep the yellow lines or median or the middle of the road is always to your side of the vehicle. If you remember that, you'll always be in the right lane.
Yeah, your turn signals are on the right, your windshield wipers on the left.
Yes.
So every time you try to hit your turn signal, you're just going to turn on your windshield wipers.
Which is what I've done almost the entire time we were here.
Yeah, they work.
So anyhow, that was that.
Yeah.
But so we got over there and she started going.
Far less traffic on North and Middle Caicos. Like there was
Yeah.
there was just the people who came over with us, honestly.
Yeah.
But again, that was like just like here, you drive through really nice areas and then you drive through
But there
areas
wasn't-
that are.
There was a couple nice spots there. There really wasn't. It wasn't like on Providenciality,
Just say
whatever.
Provo.
Provo. It wasn't like on Provo when you're driving, like you hit like Grace Bay, there's like big resorts and hotels and stuff like that. There really wasn't any of that on the other island.
Yeah, there's just some resorts.
Yeah, there's just some like big houses and stuff is what they look like. But there's a lot of poor homes, like a lot. Their schools are very poor. Just not, again, it felt like over there it did like most of the time feel like a third world country until you come to these beautiful beaches. The beaches were nice. We did go down to, well, we hit a bunch of points down there. I don't know what they all are.
Yeah, we went to the flamingo pond first and saw flamingos way out in the distance.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there was just like little.
Beaches along.
Yeah.
Along
Yeah,
the
we
way.
went to Bambara Beach, which was beautiful. We saw a lot of turtles
Yep.
there.
Yep. We saw that. We went to, where was the cave at?
Dragon Cay.
Yeah.
Well, Mudgeon. Or
Yeah.
Mudgeen.
Mudgeen, yeah.
Yeah, the guy called it Mudgeen.
This is the walkway to the fine dining restaurant. What'd you say?
I said, I hope they're open. I didn't see anybody, and then now I see somebody.
So we're gonna try to see, I think they sell the sea turtle here, so we're gonna try to eat some of that, I think.
We're gonna eat conch, is what we're gonna eat.
And loggerhead turtle is what I'm hoping.
Loggerhead. It's illegal.
Not in Turks and Caicos.
Look how beautiful.
So we're gonna go down and explore the cave here and the beach next.
Mudgeen. There was caves there, and we had lunch up there at, I think it's actually Mudgeen Bar and Grill.
Yeah. And their food was okay.
We tried conch fritters.
Yep. Which the conch didn't have much flavor. She liked the fritter flavor. I didn't really care for it too much. But the conch was just chewy. It
And we
was
had
like
burgers.
chewed shrimp is what made me think of, except it didn't taste like shrimp. It was actually shrimp's more fishy. Yeah, and we had burgers. And then we went down to, there's like an outcrop in the cave area there.
Yep.
Went down to the beach. It was beautiful down there. And then I flew my drone a little bit while we were there. Took some photos. tried to get to the point of that island too, didn't we?
Yeah, but you can only go so far.
Yeah.
But we did end up at this one beach with there was conch shells everywhere.
Mhm.
Like a lot. It was beautiful there too. Like pieces of coral, like beautiful white coral and conchs everywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice beaches on that island. I would recommend going over there just to experience all the beaches over there.
Yeah, we did the ferry ride there and back was more expensive than the car rental. The car rental was like $100 for the day for a SUV, and then the ferry ride there and back was like $130. So we spent like $230 to go over there.
Yeah. Which isn't bad for
No.
what you get.
No, because like the kayak tour excursion was $240.
Yeah. And I'll just briefly hit on when we were at Smudging. What is it?
Majin.
When we were there, there is a cave that if you go up above the restaurant.
Yeah, hike up onto the bluff.
Yep.
And then there's this little trail that looks like it goes nowhere, but it actually,
goes down the steps and works into like a hidden
Another
cave
cave.
with a beach there.
yeah.
We didn't know that, so we didn't hit it. I just wanted to hit on that just real quick. So if
Yeah.
you're there,
If you go
Check
there,
that
yeah,
out.
walk the whole path and go down.
yeah.
There's praying hands up there, and then there's a little trail that goes off. If you follow that, it'll go down the stairs that go down to the little secret beach.
Yep. So we recommend probably doing that. And then,
Then we got back to the ferry dock.
Yep.
We came all the way back to the ferry dock, and we were sitting there with a local. He was actually from the Bahamas, and he was telling us, reading us poetry, and he brought out a little poetry book and
talk about the United States, did like this little patriotic thing about our country.
yes, about 9/11. He told us this beautiful poem.
Yeah. I guess that back in the day he worked security and was in the United States when some of that stuff was going on with 9/11. So
He spoke very highly of our country, more
Yeah.
so than we
most
did.
people that live in it, most
Yeah.
of us want to change our country to look like everyone else, but he was appreciating what it was for what it is. So we did that. He was a nice guy. We ended up coming back then, and we came back here. It was already dark. They don't recommend going out at night on the island unless you're in like the resort areas and stuff. You don't want to go anywhere it's remote, where there's no one really around.
Yeah.
So we did come back here. We sort of tried to pay attention to doing that. We did go out in the evening once.
Yeah,
get
we
some-
went to Grace Bay though.
Yeah, and that was fine. So that was it for that day, right? Is there anything else? We are to Friday.
Okay, so today the game plan is we're going to go to Grace Bay, which is rated the #1 beach in the world as far as how beautiful it is. We were there the other day. It was really nice, so we figured we'll go back, spend the day there, and then depending upon what we have left time-wise, we might go to
Smith's Reef.
I don't know if we'll do that today, though. Maybe we'll hold off till tomorrow for that, but we'll see. But anyhow, so that's a game plan for today. So we're going to hop in the car and take off.
We wanted to go back to Grace Bay. That was what the plan was.
Yeah. It was so windy.
Yeah, and I can say from this day forward, every day we had gone back to Grace Bay. Hoping,
It was so windy.
Yeah, the waves were tall and big. It wasn't calm. I mean, the water
Yeah.
was still clear. It sort of turned a little bit, but
Just sandy.
yeah, but it was just, it wasn't that beautiful beach like we saw
Yeah.
the first day we swung by there, so.
Right.
So there's a slight change in plans because the waves are really rough right now where we are. We are going to head down to Chalk Sound, and what's the name of the beach?
Sabadillo Bay.
Yeah, because they say it's better if it's windy on this side, you go to that side. That would be nicer. So we're going to go there and check that out. And tomorrow we'll come back here. Those waves are huge. So anyhow, hopefully tomorrow's a nicer day because it really sucks because the other day we were here it was just calm and beautiful. So,
Clear,
yeah.
warm.
Today it is not the #1 beautiful beach. Tomorrow might be. That was one of the things I was going to also say during this video was make sure you're looking at, your wind speeds and all that stuff when you're making plans because look at what side of the island things are on. Even when we go to the Outer Banks, we do that too. I will look to see what side is it. Wind's coming in on the sound? Is it coming in on the ocean side? So we can sort of plan our days around that.
Yeah.
I highly recommend doing that no matter where you go.
And I had read online that when it's windy on Grace Bay, that you can head over to Sabadillo and go there, and it's calm. And that's what we ended up doing. And it was very calm.
Yep.
So Galen found the secret entrance to the beach.
I did.
She's been following this group and figured it out. So this is it. That they weren't.
Wow. Beautiful. Like
Yeah, it was-
next to no wind.
Yep.
And then we got there and there was a palm tree and we were trying to stand in the shade. And then a vendor came up to us and rented us an umbrella and 2 beach chairs. So we were,
We recommend doing
yeah,
like,
it made a huge difference.
we were thinking, oh no, we'll be okay, whatever we had to look, but the palm tree shade started to go away. But it was, I mean, without that, we couldn't have stayed
Yeah,
as long
no.
as we did. The sun had just been too
Yeah.
hot.
And then like the water, it's not deep there, so take a floaty so you
Yep.
can float around.
The sand is mushy though when you're walking in the water. It's
Lots
sort
of crab holes.
Yeah, tons of crab holes.
Yeah.
And they sort of wait you out. So you just wait for someone to come out and grab
Some
each
of them
other.
are big holes.
Yeah, like we're not talking like there's little ones like this, and then there's like big holes. And when you step in one that's been covered by the sand, you're like, whoop, like
Yeah.
you step down into it.
Yeah.
So if you do have water shoes or something like that, you might take. You look dumb because no one else is wearing them, but I tell you what, I feel a lot safer.
We have all our toes, so
Yeah, that's true. But that was a beautiful spot,
Mhm.
location. It was really
Yeah.
nice. There wasn't many people there.
yeah, we hung out there for a couple hours.
We kept running into a family that we were with when we went over to the ferry.
Yeah,
That next day, we ran into them there at that beach.
yeah. And then at the restaurant.
And then we went to a restaurant. Where did we go?
We're done at the beach just because we were getting hungry and there was nowhere to grab food, as I said earlier. So now we're going to go to,
Las Brisas,
which is going to be over the,
Chalk Sound.
and I can't say any of these things because
I love you very much.
I can't remember them. So, but anyhow, so that's what we're going to do now. Hopefully this place is good food. We'll go from there.
It was a beautiful place. They actually sat us. We got like the prime seating there because there was like a little round,
Rotunda,
yeah,
gazebo.
gazebo. Yeah, they sat us in, and so we had a look of the entire Chalk Sound, which
Yeah.
is another beautiful place to see.
Yeah.
They do have tours and stuff there. We didn't do a tour, but we got prime seating.
Yeah, food was really good.
Yep. So one of the key things we want to make sure everyone knows about when you eat there, important to know.
Oh, the flies are horrific.
Yes, they were. I mean, literally at one point I looked up and there was like 20 of them flying around,
Yeah.
or they were just, and they would dive bomb your food, and you know,
Yeah.
you're doing
So
this
when
the
you
whole
get there,
time
they
trying
have
to
little citronella candles that they burn like lime and lemon on, but it was too windy, so they couldn't light it for us. But if you're there on a not windy day, that's the way you keep your flies away.
eat. Yeah, I've seen them. They're like methane containers. I've seen them for like when you're going camping, you can cook your food with them and stuff like that. You light them. I've seen them keep stuff warm, like foods at parties and stuff. That's what it looks like. So definitely ask for one of those if you go there.
Yeah.
I just asked for one right off the bat. We didn't even know about them. There was a nice couple that was across the table.
Yeah, and they brought us theirs because they were getting ready to leave, and they
Yeah.
saw we were fighting with the flies.
Yeah.
Like you literally have to like.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
It
I
was
mean, and they don't
beautiful.
show up. Like there's nothing there. There's no bugs. You're
Yeah.
sitting there. You're drinking.
Then the
you're
food
having this
comes.
stuff. Yeah, and it's like they're everywhere.
Yeah,
So we ate there, and then what else did we do? I think we came
drove
back.
around Chalk Sound a little bit. and
Yeah,
then-
we did. We check out the sound, see if there's anything around there. And then that basically, we did go out that night to.
Yeah, we went back to Grace Bay and ate at Skull Rock again.
Okay, so now we're going to venture out at night because she feels like we're safe. Nothing's ever going to happen to us, so I just have to go with it. So I just have to believe her.
He can find anyone.
Yep. So, in all actuality, there was a murder last night, so they think that the police presence is going to be higher tonight, so we should be safe.
There wasn't.
Wasn't her. They probably can't hear us. Did you see how much All right, we'll see how it makes out.
Because the next night we went up back to. Yeah.
It's our story. We can make it up however we want.
Yes.
Christmas tree during the day.
during the night.
During the night, I mean, yeah, it looks like it's a little more busy now. Ice cream.
Where are we now?
I have no idea.
Turn around.
Where are we?
It's on the sign.
She wants to say we are at Sweet Fix. So we did that, and then that explains it for Friday.
Yeah.
So this is a speed bump that we ramped doing probably 50 mile an hour. And also, I don't know if you can tell, but the headlights give you like a 8-foot range in front of the car, and that's about it. That's all you can get. So you can't see crap when you're driving at night.
You gotta wait till all the cars are gone and we get away from the lights.
And then the other thing is everyone else sits so much higher than this tiny little car. So like that's all you can see. They're junk. And so everyone else sits higher, so as they come by, they completely blind you. And if they have, what most of them do is their high beams, and you can't see jack. This is their high beam. It's like a low beam in our country.
Turn it off again. Then turn it on. It looks bright in the video, but it's not.
Yeah,
It's very dark.
Yeah. Okay, so today is Saturday. It's our last day on island, full day on island. And we're gonna try to get back to Grace Bay again to see if the water's any good there. I actually said the word. I didn't need her to say Grace Bay for me. But we're gonna go back there and see what the water's like, if it's rough or not. The winds are coming out of the east-northeast, so they're gonna be shifting east, so maybe we'll get lucky. But that's the game plan for today. If that doesn't work, we're gonna go around and check out across on the other side of the island at
Long Bay?
Long Bay. I never heard of that one. But we'll see how the day goes. Tried to go to Grace Bay again. And it was windy.
Yeah. Waves are higher.
Yep. So there's a lot of parking lots along there that you can park in. So there's where Grace Bay, if you're looking at the ocean in Grace Bay this way, there's 3 parking lots. There's one that's more to the right, and then there's one that's sort of center left, and then all the way to the left. So we kept going to the one that was all the way on the right side. We went there every time we go check to see if it was windy or not. So I was like, well, why don't we go down island, check out some of the other parking lots? We were talking about it.
Yeah.
So we went.
That one was right at the 7 Stars Resort.
Yeah. Yeah, and parking wasn't too bad. It was always parked up. We always got a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, we managed. Everybody just parks however they want. Really, honestly, there's like no rules. Like you'll go and there'll be cars right up against each other, and you'll go and there'll be cars with 3 feet, 5 feet between them, not enough for another car. Or some people are crooked. Some people make extra spots. Some people park in the road.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went down. We hit one of the other parking lots that were the one all the way to the left. We went to. We passed the one. We sort of went through the town way. We didn't take the highway, so we could see a little bit of the town when we were doing it.
Yeah, we went down to Coral Gardens.
Yep.
To check that out and see.
And that was it's actually very beautiful there too. The way the rocks and the beach sit, it was actually really nice. And then there's also a reef there that you can go out and snorkel. The waves were a little rough that day, so we didn't do it. The winds were just horrible.
Yeah. So we went all the way back down to Smith's Reef.
Yep, to check that out. That, again, it was a little wavy there too. I tried to go over and swim the rocks that we saw the fish at before, and the waves were almost like throwing me into them. It was hard to try.
Yeah, the sand was all kicked up, so you couldn't really see.
Yeah, it was really cloudy that day.
So we did that, and then we went somewhere. Didn't we grab something to eat? Oh, we went to that little shack.
Shark bite?
Yeah. Was it Shark Bite? Yeah.
No, it was
I can't remember the name.
Turks Wave Cafe.
Yeah. And just as we're getting these meals, the meals themselves are like, so when we went to the nice place the day before,
Las Braces.
yeah, and we paid $120
No, it was like 130.
for the meal. So it is expensive. Everywhere you go, you might as well plan. If it's 2 people eating, you're gonna spend somewhere around $100.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It
just.
is.
And if you're not, like I said, we went to the cafe, and
That was $58.
I got 2 shrimp tacos, and she got a couple of fish sticks and a couple of French fries.
Yeah.
And it was that much money, so it is expensive.
Yeah.
Their shrimp was okay there, their shrimp tacos, but again, it was expensive. None came with it, and you said the fish.
It was okay.
Yeah. It
At
wasn't
best.
anything special.
No.
So that was it. So did we go out to dinner that night? Did we go back? Was that when we went back to the Mexican restaurant? Or did
No,
we go back
tonight. That night we came down to Pizza.
there? Oh yeah.
Last night we ate at Pizza, which is a pizza shop that the locals go to. It was
Yeah.
very busy. We ordered. We had 2 pizzas.
We got
Each
there
pizza.
right before it got busy.
Yeah. It was hopping.
So so if you go to a place like that, so when you purchase something, they'll give you a receipt.
Yeah.
But they don't like stand there and call out when something's done if you're waiting for it. Like,
Yeah.
you have to take your receipt and go back up. So just keep that in mind because
You go back up to the counter and
hand them the receipt. Yeah.
yeah.
Because when we were sitting there waiting, or when we were ordering, people were coming up with the receipts and not just cutting right in front of us.
Yeah, and you don't understand what's going on, so you're just thinking like,
Are they just being rude or ignorant? Now there was one guy that was. They were out drinking on the patio. He just came in, grabbed beers, and jumped in front of us to pay
yeah.
for them.
He even like snapped at the girl. He was like,
Yeah.
you do this now. And I mean, she did, but I mean, they're locals, so obviously it's
Yeah.
their lay of the land, but it did seem rude to do that to her.
But being we're from the States, we're used to seeing that on a regular basis because that's how the majority of people are in our country. So
Yeah.
it was just
But we didn't really
normal.
meet any rude people otherwise. Like, all the locals have been very kind to
Yep.
us and nice to us and helpful, always helpful.
So when we were at that day, just to rewind a little bit, that's Smissouri. We went down into the water, swimming around, trying to see the snorkel, see what's going on, and feel something banging against my leg. My cell phone. So I pulled it out. Well, it's a Galaxy Ultra 22 S22, so it's supposed to be waterproof and water resistant, blah blah blah. But I had my screen replaced a couple months ago because I dropped it and cracked it. First time I've ever done that in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Broke the screen on it, and we ended up alright. Anyhow, so I was in the water swimming around it. I got out, took it up, put it in the bag, and I ran some clear water over it, just tried to get some of the salt water off of it. And it turned on. It was
It was
off.
working for a while.
Yeah, it was off. I got in the car and I turned it on. It worked for like a minute or 2, and then it shut off again, and that's it. It's
Yeah.
done. So
Hasn't worked since.
yeah, my phone's destroyed. So the only thing I really lost off that was pictures of that day and some video of some of the places we were just talking about. And I didn't take the pocket with me because it was a chance of rain and I can't get this wet, so I didn't really get much. Is the only thing I got anything that day. And so that ended that adventure for the day. And that's been a little, like, it's a little hard when you get used to having your cell phone to not having it now. And so I am going through cell phone withdrawal. But anyhow, so that ended that day. And so now we are to our final day here. We've been up packing all morning, getting everything ready to go. We have to leave our place at 11, and then we'll fly out at 3:20. Yep. So we have to be there 2 hours to go through customs. Not sure what that's going to be like. But that basically concludes our adventures for when we're here. So.
walking across the tarmac to get on the plane right now. I love you too. Oh, they delayed my flight, but it's not canceled, so.
Definitely from the United States.
I'm a bigger person. They can go ahead.
Now we are at
Hi.
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, I was supposed to say it.
Yep.
Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International Airport. Eating candy.
Yes, it's actually pretty good from that place. The woman there is very talkative. Gave me all kinds of advice about where to eat, where not to eat. She said margarita there is very expensive, which it was.
Yeah, we already got taken for that one.
Yeah, almost $100. Actually, it was $100. So our flight's delayed by like what,
An
40
hour?
Yeah, something like that.
42 minutes.
So now we're just chilling for our next flight. Get back home. Eating bananas.
Junk food.
Yeah. To conclude this video, I guess there's just going to be a couple of things to talk about. One, what was your favorite place that you think we went to the whole trip?
Favorite place?
Out of everything that we saw, what was probably one of your favorite places?
Well, Bonefish was beautiful, but so was Jean on North and Middle Caicos. It was absolutely beautiful out there. Like, the things I've seen don't compare to anything else.
Yeah.
But the kayak tours were amazing. Seeing all the turtles, that was very exciting. And
Well, if you could only gone to one place in your year, where would you went?
where do you think?
Probably the Gene.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
That's probably my top place.
Yeah.
As far as all the places I saw, but that's more my. So I mean, Grace Bay would have been probably second.
Yeah.
Yeah. That whole beach area, I think, would have been my second pick. For most of you, it would probably be their first because it is very beautiful, and if you're looking for a pristine beach, but
Yeah.
I would say probably Gene on middle north Caicos is
Yeah.
probably my favorite.
Yeah, that was something to see.
While we were there, the cave that we're talking about, you go into. We did not go down there. We didn't know it was there when we were there. So that's one of my, I think, disappointments of the whole trip was not making it there to see that. Along with probably Grace Bay, with not being able to go down there on one of those non-movie days and enjoy that entire beach area. Because I can't imagine being on that side. Like, we know what it was like just the day we were there.
Yeah.
So I would recommend going to that side. Look at your winds, see which side they're coming from. If they're hitting from the side of the island, when we went to Sapodilla. If they're blowing hard there, go to the Grace Bay. It's going to be beautiful.
Truly.
So, is there anything else you think of to add on to this?
Nope.
So, I guess that's it. So that gives you hopefully a little bit better idea if you come to Turks and Caicos, some of the things to expect, some of the things to see. I guess that's it.
That's it.